In this sequence, we're going to show window panels being installed. We put two, these are what we call solid log wall panels or full log panels. So this is going to be a full wall on the inside. Now we're putting windows in. So in a window panel, that window panel, depending on the size window, is going to be shorter than the full log panel. So we've got this vertical in that we showed you. We've put this panel in place. Now this vertical column goes in place. So that just gets set. What Al's going to do is toenail that tight. The bottom, in other words, he's going to toenail this tight to the bottom first. And that's going to push that vertical tight to this log panel. So he'll put it right on the outside. Okay, now that pulled it tight to this panel. What I'm going to do is pull it tight here. He'll get a screw in the back side here into the ear, and that panel's tight. Now, what I'm going to want to do, just for grins, I always like to say, we're just going to see if we're staying plumb here. And we're right on the button, which means we got this stuff going together properly. Now we're going to put the next wall panel in here, and that also is going to be a 7 window. So that's the tallest window we have. Now before they set that though, I want to show you that all the panels come with Tyvek on them. Tyvek is a wind barrier. It's also an air intrusion preventer. Now that Tyvek then is left a little bit long. In future sequences, we're going to show how this folds over the mating panel in between the panels and gives us good barrier between panels and between the vertical columns. So this panel is ready to set. Basically, what it is, we have a 2x2 screwed on here that accepts the window flange that we'll show you in later sequences. I talked about the ears on each panel. These are 3.5. That's what we're screwing into the outside of the logs. Once we get it filming this side, you'll see how we do that. But this is basically what a panel comes like. This would be the bottom. This screws into the bottom of your building. These then screw into the vertical. In this particular case, this is set up for the windows. So this is all insulated, ready to go. What you're also going to see in those panels is some slotting. What we do is pop that foam out, and then we can electrically wire it through the holes that are already pre-drilled. So we're ready to set the next, because we're going to have 2 windows in a row here. Actually 3 when the building's done. In this particular building, we're assuming a very nice view here, maybe a lake view or what it may be. So what Al's going to do is toenail the bottom in to push it tight as he can this way and still be tight here. And then he's going to screw the flange panel tight to the bottom so it pulls it tight. So the sequence of how you put this together is fairly important. So that tightens it up here. The screw he's going to put in the bottom down here is going to bring that bottom across and bring that tight. So everything should be pretty well lined up. Now lumber, even though we asked for a 2x4, it's supposed to be exactly 3.5 the whole way. But those of you who have worked with lumber know that that's not always the case. So we've accounted for those variants in the design of this building. That's the end of these sequences on installing. We're going to let the guys get some of the building up. The cameraman's going to take a break. And when we come back, We'll show you the rest. If you have any further questions, contact us at the information listed.